Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. So, friends, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we do the book sessions. So, today we'll go to the book Conversation with God. So far, we have completed the 9 chapters. Chapter 10 is just a quote. So, we'll continue with the chapter 11 of this book. So, let me share the slides and we'll discuss this book. So, friends, those who joined for the first time, the book we are discussing is Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. And this is the book 1 of this series. So, this chapter 11, it talks about, humanity's deep belief about money, abundance, scarcity, and self-created reality. This chapter also tells, it explains that financial struggle is not mainly because of the lack of self-worth, but the conflict thoughts and unconscious conditioning about money and spirituality that one have. So why people struggle with money? So in this chapter, why people struggle with money. So in this chapter, the author asks an important question that many people silently carry inside. Why can't I attract enough money in my life? So here, the author does not simply talk about money itself. It talks about the deeper beliefs that people have about abundance, worthiness. It can be on spirituality and success also. So at first, the author thought, the problem is lack of, self-worthy or lack of worthiness. Because many people or many teachers have told them that lack in life comes from the lack of self-worth. But when he asked the same thing to God, God responds it in a very different way. God says self-worth is not the problem at all. In fact, the most problem is, so here the real problem is misunderstanding abundance and carrying conflicting ideas about money. People want money, but they also judge money negatively. This creates the inner conflict. So here, in this chapter, it explains that many people unconsciously believe that spiritual or good people should not be wealthy. So they keep this, kind of ideas or belief. So they block abundance without realizing it. So here the author, talks about how thought shapes our life experience and how changing this deep beliefs, any negative beliefs about money or earning or having good life, you need to completely change so that you can change or transform your current reality. So having money is not wrong, but too much greed or running after money is not good. But we need to have the money. Money is also energy. So we need to earn and have the good lifestyle. So we can have a thought that I'm having the right amount of money and money is always flowing into me or through me, whatever. So embarrassment, ego, and self-worth. Here, one important, part in this is when the author feels embarrassed after God points out certain truths about him, then, he feels embarrassed. So God explained that embarrassment happens because people are still attached to how, others see them, or ego wants approval, self-respect, a positive image in the society. So when this is when we feel uncomfortable or when some truths come are revealed about us, people feel ashamed or defensive. So God even suggests, trying laughter instead of feeling embarrassed. This shows that spiritual growth requires honesty without self-condemnation. So here, author makes a surprising point. God says self-worth is actually not the main problem for most. Most people already think quietly high of themselves, and they are right also. We should think good about ourselves. The deeper problem is Lack of self-worthy is the deeper problem is not lack of self-worthy, but confusion about abundance and wrong thinking about money or abundance itself. So here the main thing is because many people spend years trying to increase self-worthiness while they never, examine or question or, their actual beliefs that creating this financial struggle for them. So what belief I am, what my thoughts are, how I'm carrying this. So these things they're not, thinking about, they're not in the awareness. They only try to build their image or they try to prove themselves or to work hard. But just working hard will not, support you, but you need to have the right mindset also. So here the author focus on emotional insecurity to subconscious conditioning and social beliefs about wealth, spirituality, and godness. The belief that money is bad. So here author explains that one of the biggest, root beliefs that humans carry, that is money is bad. God also explained that people often believe God is good and money is evil. Because of this, unconsciously separates spirituality from abundance. This creates the problem. If someone does meaningful work, you know, work, healing, or work spiritually or service, they feel uncomfortable receiving money for it. So here, the chapter or author gives examples from society. Teachers, they earn very little because they think, giving wisdom, so we are giving the wisdom, we are teaching, so we should not, take money. Priests and others, they often struggle financially. Scientists searching for cures, and they also beg for funding because they want to invent, they want to search, they also depend on funding and all. So meanwhile, entertainments and celebrities, they make a lot of fortunes. They earn a lot of money. So here the author says it's not like attacking entertainers, but it's pointing out how society is confused by the value system and how they have the belief about the money. So people say value education, healing, spirituality, leadership, and a service. Yet financially, society often rewards entertainment more than all of these things. So the deeper teaching is that humans, they should secretly believe good things. So here the teaching is that humans secretly believe good things should come cheaply. Whatever the true, the righteous things, they should be of less cost, they should come easily. If something is truly spiritual or meaningful, people expect sacrifice and poverty to attach it to it. This creates the guilt around abundance and blocks people from receiving money or joyful or naturally. Why can't spiritually, when the things are so good, why can't we, pay money or the people who are doing this earn money? That's a wrong belief that is being carried. So we need to change that. So the society is contradictory thinking about the wealth. So here, the author explains the society has developed very contradictory ideas about money. So people love money, they chase money, they work for money and dream about money. Yet at the same time, they call it filthy, and say some money corrupts people. So this contradiction, right? So creates confusion inside the human mind. At one time we want the money, at the same time, we say it's not good. So both thoughts we are only releasing at the same time the feelings also. So we are confusing our mind, and so we are getting the blockages in us. Yes. So this contradiction, this contradiction creates confusion inside the human mind. So here author says if a doctor, a spiritual teacher earns large amounts of money, people immediately, become suspicious. Society often, expects people in service or spiritual roles to remain poor. But why? It's not required, right? Why can't they earn money? They also have a right to live. It's not that they are doing service mean they have to leave everything. They can't earn, they can't expect anything. So God calls this wrong thought. Not normally wrong, but wrong in the sense that it does not serve humans' desire for abundance and well being. So your author also explains that thoughts are creative. So if someone believes money is bad, also believing themselves are good, they create an internal conflict. So if we want to earn, then we should change the belief that we have about the money. So part of them wants abundance, and but another parts also rejects it. So this conflicts, external creates external financial struggle. So you need to be very conscious about what you're thinking. So here it teaches that abundance itself is not evil. The consciousness behind money matters more than money itself. So once you get money, what you want to do or how you want to earn, that matters, right? Earning money in the righteous way is not wrong. You can do hard work, you can earn money, you can serve, you can do good things, and yet you can earn money. But if you want to earn money by doing wrong things, and if you want to spend that money in the wrong things in out of greed, then that is wrong. But money itself is not wrong. Right? So our thoughts create reality. So here one of the teaching from this is that thoughts create reality. And God explains that universe works like a giant Xerox machine. It simply copies and reflects our dominant thoughts. Right? How in the Xerox, whatever we give the paper, it just prints out, right? It takes a Xerox copy the same way, whatever we are thinking in the mind, the universe, copy paste the same. So what you think, what you feel, you get the same thing back. So if someone sends mixed thoughts into life, life reflects mixed experience back. So for example, I want money, but also money is bad. Or some people say good people should not be wealthy. That means, are you good or not? If you think you are good, then you are blocking yourself, right? These conflicts, beliefs, confuse the creative process. We are all creators. At every moment we are creating, so we are only blocking our creation. So here author, personally struggles because he loves what he does. He enjoys meaningful service and creative work. But deep inside, he believes receiving large amount of money for joyful service is spiritually wrong. So part of him wants abundance, while at the same time he also keeps on rejecting this. So the universe simply reflects this in the contradiction. So that's why, here this chapter of the God teaches us that life is not punishing people. Life is mirroring consciousness. So we think, I'm not getting money, I'm not getting the opportunity, God is punishing me, life is punishing me. Here they are not punishing us, they are simply reflecting as a mirror. What we are thinking is that's what we are seeing in everyone around us. So for anything and everything we need to change our thoughts. So when beliefs become clear, focused, and aligned, external experience become changing naturally. Life mirrors like the inner consciousness. So once we change it, then all the external experience they change, and they become very clear and very supportive for us. So the three-step of creating process. Here author explains how creation normally happens in human life. So the God says creation usually follows the three stage. The first one is thought, the second one is word, and the third one is action. First comes the thought, the internal idea or the mental image that we create, right? We want something, then it comes from the thought. Then the thought becomes words. Then we speak, yeah, I want it. I got this thought, I want to work on it. We speak or writing. Words gives the thought additional power and direction. Then finally, the action creates the physical manifestation. Then we work towards it and it happens, it comes into reality. Right? So this chapter explains that almost everything humans create follows this process. Business, innovations, relationships, system, and personal realities begin internally before becoming external. So everything starts within our internal. Even for anyone, for scientists, for humans, everything becomes starts from internal thoughts, feelings, words, and then it comes into the reality based on our actions. So here, it explains that why repeated thoughts matter so much. Thoughts are not passive; they are creative energy. So how do we change deep-rooted thoughts that already exist within us? Because many beliefs were built on years through society, childhood, fear, and conditioning. That becomes the next major, you know, That's become the major part, right? How we can handle this or how we can overcome this. So, changing the sponsoring thoughts. So here author introduced the idea of sponsoring thoughts, which means, deep-rooted beliefs that controlling life experiences. So here God explains that if people want to change a root thought, they must reverse the normal creation process. Now, regularly how we create or how we think, we need to change that complete process. Instead of thought, word, and action, they must begin with action first. That's what God says. Do the action you want your new belief to support. So, whatever you want to change, do that action first. Then speak about it. And eventually, the mind will change. Slowly, the mind will start thinking in that way. Right? Normally, what we do, we think, we speak, and then we do. But here, God suggests that you do that word, you do that in action, then speak about it. Then the mind will already start thinking or believing that. Right? Eventually, the mind changes. So, this is very powerful teaching because most people wait for thoughts to change before acting differently. But here, the rule is, to act and then the thought will change. But here, the God says, create new internal evidence. Repeated conscious action slowly retains the mind. So, the subconscious habits, how habits come, because we repeatedly do that, it becomes a habit or belief. The same way, when we do those actions, what we really want, then definitely our thought and mind will change. So, repeated conscious action slowly retain the mind. So, the author asks whether this is manipulation or mind control. So, we are consciously doing, so what is this? Then God responds, he says, by saying the world has already programmed human minds through conditioning, fear, and social beliefs. So the real question is, will people, continue living through the other people's conditioning or consciously choose new belief for themselves? So God is saying, because of the society and all, people are already conditioned. So now they want to live by others' condition or they want to create their own conditioning. So, yeah, that's what is important, right? So, here it teaches that transformation requires conscious participation, not passive writing, not just simply following, but conscious participation, how you can change. So, when we are awareness becomes easier with time. The more we are aware, the more, we consciously do, the things fall in place and becomes easier for us. So, the reactive thoughts versus self produced thoughts. So your author explains that most human thoughts are reactive thoughts. We just react, right? They comes from society, culture, fear, or family conditioning, or watching media or cell phones, right? And other experiences. So very few people deeply examine whether their beliefs are actually true for themselves personally. What I'm thinking, is it true? Where my belief is coming? They question their belief. So here, God says people inherit beliefs automatically and then defend them without awareness. So the author believes, he says that money is bad is given as an example, even though his real experiences tells him that money can, help people create freedom. When money is there, we have that freedom. But he still carries old conditioning against it. Even though he believes, money is helpful, but still he has some rejection towards it. So humans often reject their direct experiences in order to protect their belief. So what we have already made that belief and conditioning so strong, to protect it, to defend it, we reject the our own beliefs, what that is true for us. Right? So God explains that changing the deep-rooted thoughts means creating self-produced, the data, in other words. So people must consciously create new experiences that support the new truth or the new reality that we are living is. This is how genuine inner transformation happens. Awareness breaks unconscious conditioning. Right? So it also teaches that evolution begins when people stop blindly believing or repeating inherited beliefs and start consciously choosing their own truth and choosing, what is right for me, what belief I should create, or making their conscious belief. or we can program our mind by ourselves. That affirmations, visualizations, a lot of techniques are there. By using them, we can automatically change our reality. So the not enough belief, right? Here another, the part is scarcity. Humanity deeply believe in scarcity. God says people believe there is not enough money, time, love, food, compassion, or opportunity. That's what we normally complain, right? There is nobody to give food, no opportunities, and all. This belief shapes society's behavior. The more people, keep on repeating, that's how it shapes the society, or the consciousness is becoming like that, right? So because people fear there is not enough, they completely, they worry, they judge, they struggle constantly. So here God explains that this is not enough. Consciousness recreates the world exactly as human experience it. If you say there is no enough, not enough, then that's what you get it. So the author also, shows several hidden beliefs that people can have. Money is scare, money is bad, money should not be received for spiritual work, money corrupts, right? Money should not be received for spiritual work. Money is, not freely given. So all these beliefs, block abundance naturally. Here, abundance is not just money, prosperity, you say, right? In whatever work we do, that's why the abundance, wisdom, abundance, money, abundance, thoughts, abundance, in the kind of service you do heartfully. You have that divine love. Everything comes into that abundance, not just money, but wholly how you are living your life, right? So that's what he says. All these beliefs block abundance naturally. So we need to, recreate this scarcity, right? We are recreating by thinking because they keep believing in scarcity. When we believe in this, we are recreating this. So here the teaching is not only about money, it's about consciousness itself. So fear creates contraction. So when we have the fear, when we have this negative belief, we are creating this. So abundance creates openness and trust. So abundance must be remembered. Always in anything you do, think about abundance. There are enough opportunities, there are enough, things available, there are enough resources, there is enough money, there are enough people supporting me. So in whatever you think abundance in that way, and slowly you will attract these things in your life. So thoughts, experience, and the viscous cycle. So your author says, our thoughts, the human life often becomes a repeating cycle. Thoughts create experience, then experience strengthens the thoughts. Then thoughts create more experience, right? From thoughts, we get experience, we feel, and then we experience things. And from experience, again, we get more and more thoughts. So if the original sponsoring thought is negative, then the suffering repeats continuously. If your first thought is negative, then you feel negative, then you do negative, then it keeps on, the suffering comes continuously. For example, if someone believes, there is never enough money, or I'm poor, I'm this, then what happens? They make fearful decisions. To go for a trip, they think, okay, no, 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 I can't go, I don't have. To buy or something new, they think there is not enough money. To go for an opportunity, they think, I don't have. So in everywhere, to have a right food, they think, okay, I will, buy less groceries. In everything, they lack themselves. They're fearful, don't make decision, they don't enjoy their life. So those fearful actions create stressful experience for them. Then those stressful experiences seem to prove the original belief is correct. Then they think, that is true. Because of not having money, I'm experiencing this. So this creates, what is called viscous cycle. So God explains that people are unhappy with their money situation partly, and partly because they continue identifying with those negative thoughts. The only way to break this cycle is to consciously create new experience and new beliefs for ourselves. Transformation begins internally first, and then you can experience those things outside, right? So this shows how deeply thoughts influence emotional life, financial life, and overall human experience. So the beggar woman example. So here author gives a real time example. how scarcity, thinking can operate. So a man, he gives a story example. So a man sees a homeless woman asking for a money. She's a poor, she was asking money. His first, he felt, kindness and generosity. Then he genuinely wanted to help her and even thinks about giving meaningful money to her. That's what we already do, right? But then he feared, and then he fear started coming, what if I don't have money? I should save money for myself. If I give her, then what if I don't have tomorrow? Slowly, the fear replaces abundance. Earlier, he felt, he had enough and he could give her. But when fear came, he felt, what if I don't have? What if I give her and I can't save money for myself? So, finally, he walks away, giving almost nothing. Then he, don't give anything. That's what here, author says that impulsive reflected abundance and compassion, right? So his later thinking reflected fear and conditioning. So here God explains that only one real difference between the man and the homeless woman is one belief. He believes that money, more money can come again. She no longer believes that, right? This example teaches that abundance is deeply connected to consciousness, trust, and inner belief. So that is what. So here it encourages that people to act quickly on loving and abundant impulsive before fear destroys them. Right? So we all have, even the man can earn money, he has that, but still he is worrying about nothing. Right? So new thought and human evolution. So your author says a powerful teaching about evolution and consciousness. So the God says humanity is full mostly with old thoughts, inherited thoughts, fearful thoughts, and conditioned thoughts. We are all conditioned, right? So very few thoughts are truly conscious and self-created. So here he says new thought is humanity's opportunity to evolve. When you create or develop a new thought, that is time for evolution or transformation. So people cannot create a different world while continue to think with the same fearful consciousness. So we need to change. If you want to change, then you need to change thinking also. So true evolution means consciously changing belief, action, awareness, openness, and conscious choice rather than fear and scarcity. So overall, this here is what the author explains that money itself is not the problem. Consciousness is a real, issue. How our individual consciousness is, how our society or the collective consciousness is, that is what is impacting us, right? When people heal the relationships with abundance, they begin changing not only their financial life, but their entire way of experiencing reality. A relationship with others, relationship with money, relationship, right? In every way, this relationship work with others, with money, with your own self, how you treat yourself. So everywhere you think you have enough or you feel you have lack within you, right? You have to feel abundant about yourself also. So everything, collectively impact your experience. So the key takeaways from this chapter, abundance is blocked more by conflicting beliefs than by lack of ability or self-worth. Thoughts repeated consistently become life experience and shapes actional reality. True transformation begins when old fear-based beliefs are replaced with conscious new actions and thoughts. So thank you, friends. I hope this was helpful to you all. So with this, let's get into the meditation. So we'll be doing the breath mindfulness meditation. like every day we do. We start with the process is very simple. You just need to sit comfortably, close your eyes, and clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, and just observe your normal, natural breath. Don't forcefully inhale or exhale. Just observe how breath is going in and coming out. So as you observe your breath, our mind becomes empty, right? So as you see in the picture, sit comfortably, clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, and cross your leg. Take a comfortable posture. The more comfortable you are, the longer you can sit into the meditation. I'll play the music and guidance. Just observe your breath. Dear friends, sit comfortably, close your eyes, clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, and now observe your normal, natural in breath and the out breath. Don't forcefully inhale or exhale. Just observe the breath. As you observe the breath, our mind becomes empty. Just be with your breath, dear friends. Let thoughts come and go. Don't get attached to it. Don't get carried by your thoughts. Whenever you realize you're in thoughts, bring your attention back to the breath. This time we are spending for our own self. We are all into the group meditation. Go deeper and deeper into yourself. Come back to your body, dear friends. Recollect your experiences. What did you feel? Friends, at this moment, let's express gratitude. Be grateful to your parents, teachers, and mentors. Be grateful to your family members, friends, and everyone you know. Be grateful to plants, animals, and Mother Nature. Be grateful to all the technology and devices which we are using, through which we are all connected. Elevate yourself with this feeling of love and compassion and feeling of oneness with each and everyone. Whenever you are ready, place your palms on your eyes for 5 seconds and then slowly open your eyes.